It's good to see you. Welcome to another Bible Shorts with Biblebob. If you're watching online on our YouTube channel, you can see that I'm standing in front of a cactus, and I got a tray of cactus, and I got gloves on. But even with gloves, and you don't want to get too close to this cactus here, this is called a Cholla cactus or a teddy bear cactus. But I wanted to start here to show you the mother plant where my good neighbor Linda allowed me to take some cuttings off, and I'm going to plant it in front of my yard. So I'm going to kind of gingerly attempt to carry this and the camera up to the front of the yard and show you how we plant a cholla. And in the meantime, our Bible verse for the day is from 2 Corinthians chapter 4, 8 through 9. And it says, we are often troubled, but not crushed, sometimes in doubt, but never in despair. There are many enemies, but we are never without a friend. And though badly hurt at times, we are not destroyed. So that kind of could sound like somebody who's been playing with a cactus. But so bear with me if you're watching online. I got to climb up the side of an embankment here, and we're going to go to the front and plant some cholla and talk a little bit about how the cholla is. Can you hear me? I'm out of breath. So how the cholla is the way a Christian should be. Okay, I'm losing my tongs here, and I really need to be careful because I'll show you the cholla in a little bit. So, and if you're on the YouTube channel, you can see that we got there's a bird hanging in the bushes over there. And okay, now I got to stop and pick up the tongs. This is like going to be a dangerous video. So here we are. We have a neighbor coming up the road, and there's our donkey keeping watch here. So I'm going to come over here and get out of the neighbor's way, because if you get, hi neighbor, if you get hit by a car here and you go over the embankment, well, you might be in a lot of trouble. So, okay, we're just about here. So let me see if I can set the camera up here and give you a glimpse of, yeah, that should be good enough. So first, let me tell you about these cholla guys. So this is the cholla. Well, let me see if I can hold one up for you. We even got one that he kind of looks like a cross here. So this is the cholla cactus. So the cholla has these little spines on here, and it is affectionately called the teddy bear cactus, and it just looks so soft and cuddly. But I'm telling you folks, do not cuddle a cactus. These sharp things, it's also called a jumping cactus, because what happens is all you need to do is brush against it. And I don't know if I have anything to brush against it with to show you how it can actually come off. So when I first moved here to Arizona, I was the victim of these chollas. Not knowing anything, I went bushwhacking through the woods like we would do up in New York, but the fields down here are a little bit different. These have barbs in them. They will go into your skin, and they are one of the most painful, if not the most painful cactus in all of the desert. The barbs on this, they will go into your skin. It has a barb underneath. So picture a fish hook going into your skin with a barb underneath, and you trying to pull it out. They kind of like rip, and they're very painful. So the other thing, so now I showed you the cactus where it came from, the mother plant. When they grow bigger, there's animals that eat the fruit. Actually, Native Americans have eaten the fruit off of those. I have not yet, but I'm going to try that when I see fruit. They grow beautiful flowers. Birds, the cactus wren and other birds will make a nest in there because the prickly pines keep them safe from other predators. Although there are some predators out here that can actually eat their way through a cactus. So the other interesting thing that I'll point out, if you can see this cross up here, I'll bring it closer to you. This is the skeleton. Oops. Okay, I can actually touch this one because the spines are all gone. So what you have here is an actual skeleton of a cholla that you can fashion into all kinds of things. You can see here, obviously, I did a cross because I'm like the cross guy. So we're going to set that over here. Now, The thing about the cactus, the Cholla cactus, it has a very deep root. We as Christians are supposed to be resilient. And resilient, like the Bible verse says, we're going to go through hard times. To be resilient in hard times is almost like keep coming back, keep coming back. You got to be persevering. This cactus will grow where many other plants cannot grow. Cool story about my wife and I, how we met. And we met through an organization called Climbing for Christ. Their mission is to take the gospel where most people cannot or will not go. Hard to reach areas, people in mountainous areas. They build bridges, schools, churches. They train porters that go up mountains. So that's how we met. My wifey saw a picture of me on a magazine cover, and it was in the Adirondack Mountains in New York. We took a bunch of hoodlums or inner city young people, good young people, who always behaved, and we took them up into the mountains in the Adirondacks. My buddy Daryl Boss, he took a picture of the back of me with a cross on the back as I was facing away from the camera on, I forget the name of the mountain, but it was a sunset. I'm looking at the sunset. It ended up on a magazine cover for Climbing for Christ about me attempting to go and climb Kilimanjaro and visit a couple of orphanages over there, which were the high points. I didn't make the top of Kili. I got stopped short at 17.3. The mountain is 19.3. But Linda had made Kilimanjaro. She made the top. Of course she did. Wifey made the top. So she sent a donation to our ministry because she saw me on the cover. And you can't say that she thought that I looked hot because it was the back of my head and the back of my shirt she was looking at from the waist up, kind of like Elvis Presley on the Ed Sullivan Show. If you're an old head like me, you might remember that. But so Linda just saw why I was going. We identified with each other because I was attempting Kilimanjaro. And she sent a donation to the Ministry of Youth with a Purpose, which is 25 years old, by the way. Very cool. Thank you, God. And so I sent her a thank you. And over a period of a year and a half, the thank yous became more of a message than a phone call. Then we prayed on the phone. And I will tell you, especially if you're a young person, you want to get to know somebody, what's really in their heart, what they're all about, pray with them on the phone or pray with them in person. When somebody prays, who they are and what's important to them will come out of them. And you would hope that they're also praying for you at the same time as they esteem other people as being more valuable than themselves. So that's how we met. Our first kiss was in the Grand Canyon, October 8th, 13 years ago, 4 p.m., 72 degrees, mile and a half mark. Maybe TMI for you, but that's how we met. So a Cholla cactus grows in places where a lot of plants won't grow. Climbing for Christ goes to places where a lot of Christians won't go. Climbing for Christ has been resilient. They've been around for over 25 years, I think. I'm not exactly sure how long that Gary Falesson and his wife Elaine have had that going. But they've impacted thousands upon thousands of people, children and parents and porters and mountain hikers, climbers. It's been awesome. But back to the Cholla cactus. So it's got fruit. It's got resilience in reserve. How do you get resilience in reserve? By sticking to your word. I'm about to put this cactus in the ground. So now to do that, I have the Grow Well cactus mix. So now the interesting thing about cactus mix is that you don't just put the cactus mix alone in the soil. You mix it 50-50 with the native soil. So I'm just going to plant one in here, and you can watch me do that with my handy dandy digger guy. In Arizona, you need something really sharp to get into the soil. It's not like New York where you grow and just poison ivy comes up all over. So here, I've also got a hatchet. So what I'm going to do is be able to get enough of the native soil to be able to mix it 50-50, and I'll do it in here. So here's half of that. Take the roots out, maybe, and then we're going to take a cup of this. So we've got that. We're going to mix it together. So 50-50 is like you're living in the world, and you might think supernatural, natural is 50-50. It's really not. But we got 1 foot in the world, 1 foot in the grave, and hopefully our heart's in heaven because we know Jesus. But when you got to mix things, if we didn't mix this, here's what would happen. The cactus would only grow within this mix, and its roots would not extend because it would get all of its nourishments from here. By mixing it with the world's soil, we encourage it to reach out. So in the Bible, it talks about wheats and tares. Jesus says, don't tear up the weeds, would be tares. So let's call it the wheat and the weeds is probably a better description for our normal today's understanding. You don't tear up the weeds, but you want to branch out into the world. So by giving this a 50-50 mix, we're encouraging the cactus to be able to stretch out into the land around it and not just stay solitary in its own place and kind of like stunt its growth. So we're going to put this puppy in here, and then we are going to take a cactus with the tongs. And so I really need to be careful that after I plant this cactus guy here, that I don't use this for a hot dog, because if I eat the hot dog with the tongs, I might have like some barbs in my tongue. So this was cut off here with snips. You put it in the shade for 5 to 7 days. I think it's been about a week since I've done it. And it gets it ready to plant. Now, in the wild, arms will fall off and they'll root in the ground. So they'll do it naturally. I'm just trying to help them along here. And we're going to go like this. We're going to dig a little bit of a hole and put this guy in here. And you don't really have to water them. They don't need it. They will get their own water and nourishment. And once they take root, they can. So there you have it. That's our story about the Bible mix. So let me there's one other version of the Bible that I want to read you. The same verse, but this one is in the New International Reader's Version. And what it says that we are pushed hard from all sides. We are not beaten down. We are bewildered, but that doesn't make us lose hope. Others make us suffer, but God does not desert us. We are knocked down, but we are not knocked out. So that's really pretty cool. The cholla cactus can be knocked off the main plant, but it's going to grow in the dirt that it was planted. It's going to grow and be resilient. It's going to grow and be persevering. It's going to grow and not give up. And it's going to stretch out. And eventually you're going to have more chollas. So that's all we got for today. Hey, thanks for your time. Go do something nice for somebody. Jesus loves you, so do we. See ya.